Welcome back, guys. We're actually on a new camera now. But John Deere 300 Snowmobile. As you remember in the liquefier video, I got that one running. So, and I mentioned that this one was in need of some work. I know we have no snow, but I need this out of my shop. And guess what? After a little bit of work and stuff, she runs. So I haven't gotten a recoiler put on her. I have kind of a hot wire battery thing I do because this thing does have an electric starter on it. I just don't have the harness to hook it up to the key yet. But no, I've gotten this sled running. It's all put back together. So I'm going to show you guys this thing run. So yeah, you're going to like this. Well, that's it. Need to put a clamp on the brake. This thing tends to wander a little bit, but once in a while, but it works. So let me show you what I did to it. So first off, under this shield is the engine. This is a Kohler engine. It's a good engine, but one thing I ran into was some issues with the stator. This thing has an old style stator that has the points on it and everything. So I had to do some work to that because I went through some trial and error with it. But I finally got one working. And then I ended up scrapping the old carburetor, which the old carburetor, for those of you that don't know, looks like, just a minute. Let me find you guys one here. It's in my parts here somewhere that I have. Here's one. Here's what the old carburetor looked like. This is your fuel pump module on the bottom. And the carburetor, this thing has no carburetor bowl. I've heard of it. I've heard that there have been issues with these things. I've heard that they can be good. I don't know. I was having issues with them. So my brother had a 440 Polaris he had gotten. And that thing, well, the previous owner had put mismatching size carburetors on it. And when he did a carb swap, well, that was the one that actually blew up. But when he did a carb swap, he had this big carb left over. So I was like, hey, I had the parts to connect this thing to the 300. So I mounted that. We have a fuel pump way right there. Got all the fuel lines hooked up. I did do a custom choke linkage. And the throttle cable. Actually, that's actually a new one off of a lawnmower. It actually works great. So that is what I did for the carburetor. Now, I will be putting a recoiler on soon, so don't worry about that. I still have to get the speedometer working. And then this thing will be ready for this next winter. So yeah, that's basically all that had to be done to her. This one is a premix. You got to mix the gas and the oil together. This isn't an oil injected. This one's older, so. But yes, this and the liquefier are officially ready to hit the snow this next winter. This one, I'm planning to maybe do some windshield work, try and get that yellowing out. But besides that, I mean, the hood's in terrific shape for its age and for, you know, for the use it's had on it. I mean, this thing says over 2,000 miles, so it's had some time, but it's also still a really good sled. Need to do a little work to the seat. But yeah, that's it, guys. Something else that might interest you guys. So this one has a different kind of track. This doesn't have the flat up and then arch. It doesn't have an arch track. It's literally like a flat, almost like flat as a sandwich track. And it's got like a bogey wheel, all bogey wheel suspension system. I am excited to see how that turns out. It's I've never ridden this thing before, so I guess we'll just have to find out. But one other thing, I'm gonna show you guys underneath the hood of this thing. So this one is set up to have electric start on it. It has the motor on it, but we need to finish getting that connected. But yeah, so your fuel tank is up front. So you got your engine way up there, and there's your exhaust pipe. This has no chain case, so it's a direct belt drive to your track. There's a starter in there. Those are my makeshift starter cables that I can hotwire on a battery. But fuel line right there. It used to have 2, but I converted it to just 1. And yeah, so not much under the hood of this thing for your headlight mounts, but it's I think it's pretty good. It's different, I would say. It's different than most other sleds I've seen, but it's classic. These things are kind of an iconic sled, and I'm glad that we finally have been able to get this thing running. Well, I got it running. So yeah, John Deere 300. All right, guys, that's it for this snowmobile, and that's pretty much it for the Deere ones until we get some snow. So yeah, I know this is kind of a little different than my last videos, but since it's kind of out of season, but it's fine. It's something I had to get out of my shop. It's been sitting here for the last few months, so it was time. But yeah, all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.